Hey, this is Monday night. You got dialogue with Dozy. You got your boy Dozy V. Well, Dozy Varner, my mama said, so I got to be straight tonight. Dozy V, it's dialogue with Dozy. Uh, Tonight, oh, what a show I got tonight. So excited. Riding is my co-pilot tonight. Is Pastor Anthony Burrell. KB may be able to make it. He may not. We're not sure. But in the meantime, or as they used to say back in the day on the radio station, in the meantime, they put a little power to this thing. It's been on a minute. In the meantime and in between time, what a show, what a show, what a show we got for you tonight. Tonight we're looking, during this Black History Month, we are looking at, well, let me just set it up. So far, we've looked at black entrepreneurism, or being a black entrepreneur. Last week, we looked at blacks in the educational community, and that was a pretty startling show. It's everything that deals with African American life during this month of Black History. Tonight, we're looking at the Black family. We're looking at the Black family. Listen, I want to bring my co-host on, Pastor Burrell. How are you, Amp?
I'm fine, Doctor. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, my brother. So grateful that you found the time in your busy schedule from beating your boy on the golf course to being with me tonight.
Doc, I went to the tennis court, then I went to the golf. Man, it's the first time, and my Apple Watch told me I completed all of my rings. Amen.
That's
Calories,
awesome.
movement, and standing at least 12 times in a day.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Well, listen, I am so excited to get into the night show, the Black family. And I'm blessed to have the matriarch of our family that I call her our Jim. My mother is going to be with us tonight. My mother, my niece, and my two oldest grandchildren are here. So what does that mean? We have 4 generations of Varners. We have Mom. We have Toya's, the producer. She'll be available for a voiceover. You have me, and hopefully Kim will be able to get on. Boy, don't tell him I said Kimberly. Hopefully Kim will be able to get on. And then the next generation is Kristen and Toya. And then we have Toya's children, Patience and Joy. They're going to be on. We have 4 generations, how blessed we are, the Black family. Let me just give you a little predicate as we talk about the Black family. I'm so hurt because I couldn't put my hand on a book that I was able to be a contributing author to on doing Black family ministry. And of course, to do Black family ministry, you got to do a lot of studies of the Black family. And in the early 90s, I was part of a project with the American Baptist Convention that was funded by the Lilly Foundation out of Indianapolis. And we went to 3 trainings where we very in-depthly spent weekends very in-depthly studying the Black family and family life. And oh man, did I meet some great people along that way, and then we do some good work. We culminated the 3rd year that we gathered, and we put together a manual. We had various pieces that we were all responsible for, and we wrote a book on doing ministry to the Black family. Our church, Macedonia Baptist Church of Sterling, Illinois, we hosted fellowships, and we had all night, what do you call them, sleepovers. We had those all night where we studied the Black family, and we did fun activities. Whole families came together. We had a great time. Then since locating here, I was asked to be the coordinator at the Mount Bethel Church of the Black Family Conference, which we had many people, lots of people came in. Dr. Reginald Terry was our speaker after the breakout sessions at night. And the Black family is just a phenomenon that we're blessed to be a part of. Listen, everything as far as Black history and all of that comes from the Black family, emanates from the Black family. We're going to be talking about Black family matters tonight. My doctoral studies at the Bethel Theological Seminary in St. Paul, Minnesota was on the family. It was on family ministry. And I was, my major professor was one of the best. Now, don't let me be misleading. I did not finish that. And I like to say I moved to Fort Lauderdale, and some of the work just got in the way. But I didn't finish it. But though I didn't finish and get the degree, what I learned, no one can ever take from me. And it was dealing with the Black family. So It's something that I am innately concerned with. And during this Black History Month, I just thought it would be unfair to look at any institution of African American life and not look at the Black family. What say you, Pastor Burrell? Pastor Burrell, you hear me? Okay. All right. Are you able to hear me, Pastor Burrell? Pastor Burrell, are you able to hear? Okay. Madam Producer, let's work on that if we could, please. Okay, I'm trying to see if we're having any issues with hearing. Let's see. Let's see. I need to know, can I be heard? Because apparently Pastor Burrell you can't hear me. Okay, Madam Producer. I'm just trying to get okay. All right. I don't know what's going on with Pastor Burrell. He may need to go out and come back on. So let me just give you a few statistics, and I don't want to still. I don't know if we're trying to work out some hearing issues, some issues that we have, technical issues. So, as a lead-in to this, I just wanted to say that the Black family is, and please forgive me, I'm taking instructions and trying to see what we got to do to work this out, this audio issue. I'm waiting. Okay. All right. So let's just ask. Okay. We'll just ask Pastor Burrell and those who can't hear to log back in. Okay. So Kristen can hear, so we'll be bringing her on in a minute. Okay. So, all right, let's get on with it. So the Black family is a much maligned entity in American life. It's an area that has been the backbone of our communities, and in as much as it's been the backbone, it has also been threatened, and it has had to overcome. And it has mirrored society, and all of the problems with family life, period, also have been mirrored in African American family life. So we're going to kind of look at that tonight. And because we're blessed to have 4 generations present, we're going to ask some questions of these generations. And just, Pastor Burrell, can you join me again, please?
I'm with you.
Are you able to hear that, Doc?
I can hear you very well.
Okay. Pastor, I'm gonna have my mother sign on. I'm gonna ask her to bring her out of the dressing room. And Mama?
Yes.
Okay. There's your good friend, Pastor Burrell. Pastor Burrell, open it up by just hollering and just asking. You call her Miss Hazel. Ask Mom a question or so. Pastor Burrell? Okay, he can't hear again. Mama?
Yes, Joselle.
Okay, listen. You're a part.
Yeah.
Can you hear now, Pastor Burrell?
I'm still here.
Okay, ask my mom a question or so before we get into the full dialogue.
Okay, how are you doing this evening? How you doing this evening, Miss Hazel?
I'm just fine, and you?
Doing very well. Doing very well. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Yeah, she's there. She's frozen on the screen.
I see both you and Joselle, and hear both.
Yeah, you're frozen on the screen, but we'll just talk to you. We don't want to mess it up from here. Mama, we're going to ask Kristen to come on also. Let's just introduce all of our guests while we're at it. Let's just go here. Kristen, please come on. And we know there's much sacrifice that you're here tonight. She's with child due next week, next month. Well, next month is next week. She's due next month. and she just had a successful baby shower. But she and her husband Travis are the blessed godparents, overseers. I don't know what you officially call it, but over my nephew, her brother's children, two of her children, his two children, two of his children, Kamari and Chloe. And I know you got responsibilities with them tonight. But Kristen, how are you tonight, sis?
I'm doing well. How are you all?
We are great. 10,000 thank yous. Pastor Burrell, that's my niece, Kristen, and I see her daddy about to sign on. So KB is here with us. So Mama, let me just get this started. We're talking about the Black family. Let me ask you, Mom, let me get my little questionnaire open. Let me just ask you, what were some of the values that were passed down from your generation down to you?
What were some of the what that I passed down?
What were some of the values? Hey, KB.
Hey, dog, what's up, man?
You see your mom and your daughter on?
I see, Mama blacked out, but I see Kristen. How's everybody doing?
Pastor Burrell is
Hey,
on.
Daddy.
All right.
So, moms, what were some of the values that were passed from your parents' generation down to you?
Well, I have Christian values. My dad was a minister, and we all better have Christian values from them. In my time, as a youngster, I should say, we had to go to church. We went to Sunday school, and we said grace before we ate. We said prayers at night, and those were my Christian values. Now, my educational heritage was to better do well in school. You do your work, you do your homework, and you do well in school. And fortunately, I didn't fail. I did pretty well. And let me see what other values. Those are Christian values and educational values. Whatever I left out. Just be a good human being, a good person. Being the oldest one of siblings, I had to set a good example. I mean, that was me. That was not my parents, but I felt within myself I had to set a good example because I was the oldest of 7 other children. So I knew I had to set a good example for them.
Pastor Burrell, feel free to ask. Kim and I are on, but treat us like guests so that our generation is included. So just step in and anything you need to ask, piggyback off of Mama's responses.
Well, one of the things I'm grateful tonight for being a part of this Varner family celebration. You and I talked quite a bit about what it means to have been raised in a home where the father was always there. You know, fatherlessness is an epidemic, especially in the African American community. And to be able to reflect back on the fact, my mom and dad were married 55 years before the Lord called my dad home. And so just being raised in that strong kind of structure, and I know it's something that we're missing today. So my question, I like that nickname, Brother Stretch.
Hey, Pastor, appreciate you. Appreciate you.
And well, I've heard the story about your dad running that boys' home and stuff, but how did you transition from, I guess, as most teenagers, feeling that our dad is too strict, to being able to look back now and see that it was a blessing from God to have someone who demonstrated their love by the care that they extended to you?
Can I answer that?
Yes, sir.
Of course, growing up, I didn't know any better. It's just like somebody growing up in the hood, they didn't know they was poor until they got around other people. But I didn't know any better. I just thought my dad was being a dad. I grew up around a lot of guys that didn't have a father in their home. So I just thought having a father in my home, I was raised, feel like I was raised right. And then once I got older, and I look back on it, I'm blessed to have the father and the mother also. But my parents were of course, everybody think they have the best parents, but my dad is my hero. So, I'm blessed and thankful for the way he raised us. I think he made up the house, 3 little nappy-head boys from out east in Jacksonville. I think he raised us to, become men, and we all became productive members of society. So, growing up in a rough neighborhood, so I thank God the way he raised us. Back then I didn't know any better, so I never thought any other way about it. So
Let me
ask.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to ask this question real quick. Did you feel any special pressure being the oldest child?
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
Well, yes, it's kind of in connection with what Kim just said, and that's a great question. I don't think people actually know what pressure oldest children have. A lot of times, I got that whooping because I was the oldest, or I got that jap slap. Of course, can't even use those words anymore. I got that because I was the oldest, and there were expectations that were set from our parents that I exert leadership as the oldest. And my brothers and I, we are a member of a mutual admiration society. I have just oodles of respect. Pastor, you know what my brother, the teaching, the training, and everything that he does, and I just have oodles of respect. I'll sit there and listen to him, and I'm not a crier, but if I was, I'm sure I would be just crying out of the fact that I'm just so. I mean, his testimony, his presentation is very heart-wrenching, but I don't even get into that. I'm so caught up in, man, this is my baby brother with this kind of command of an audience and the ability to be so strong. It's just, it's oodle. So I like to think, I heard him say that our dad was our hero. I like to think and pray that I had some influence with my 2 brothers. I know they had a tremendous one with me. And that's just an excellent question. There's a lot of pressure. My dad had serious expectations out of us, and so patience is on, and she's going to be on. That's going to good thing, and we're going to ask her. She's going to be on in a minute. That's one of the things that I had, and that hierarchy. I kind of like to lead through that older one. Toya, who's our producer, was our oldest, and there were expectations for her. So yeah, great question. Great question. Could we bring Kristen in? And
if I can add on that real quick, jumping on the tail end of what Dozell just said, I'm the youngest, and I know I look up to my brother. I look up to him even today, not just growing up. Now that we're grown and living in separate households, I still look up to my brother. If I have come across some situations I'm not sure about, I reach out to him and talk to him about it, get his opinion on it. Even if he has an experience, I get his opinion on it. And he gives me his best advice, and I take that advice and put it with mine, and that's how I deal with situations. My dad was always there for us as well. My mom is always there. We're very close-knit family. We're very, very close-knit. And those are, I don't know if he's aware of it or not, but I look up to him a whole lot, man. That's my dude. So I always weigh in his conversation, even if I don't agree with it sometimes. It's very rare that I don't, but if I don't agree with it, I'll say, man, I think I'm gonna handle it this way, but I still want to get his opinion on it. And I see my mama peeping in down there. That's my heart there. She always, I ain't too old to go to mama and ask her for advice either. So she's always there for me. Even my daughter's there for advice. So we're just a very close-knit family. And I give that to both of my parents, just being the type parents that raised us to be close, and I'm thankful that I was raised up to be a Varner, to be close like that. So
yeah, I want to thanks Kim. I want to ask. Thanks for that, man. I appreciate those words, and I'm dead serious when I say you and Anthony, man. Y'all, we call ourselves the V3. And that's how we used to sound on the show. That's just how close we were. Our beds were like side by side. We did them like that so we could have a wrestling ring, a joint wrestling ring. We played football on it and everything. But I just want to say that I just have oodles of respect. My brothers have been responsible citizens. Great. Aunt Kim is a great parent. Anthony is a great uncle, and I'm just blessed to be a part of this V3 lineage. I want to bring in the next generation. Christian, how important is it for you to have seen, to be blessed to see your grandparents? And of course, the chief just left us almost 4 years ago. But how important was it? And you just lost both of your grandparents. How important has it been to have had 4 grandparents and this far into your life? And I know you're there in your 30s. How important has that been, and what has that meant as far as you've been able to transmit values down to your children?
I think it's been extremely important. With I think I had great parents or have great parents, but having your grandparents as well, my coworkers at my job they're much older than I am, so a lot of them have grandchildren, and they always say, you love those grandchildren more than you love your kids. I don't know how true that is, but I was blessed enough to be able to spend a lot of time with both sets of my grandparents, especially my dad's parents. There are many more of us on my mom's side, grandchildren wise, than there are on my dad's side. And I was the only girl here in town. And my grandparents didn't have a girl because it was the 3 of you. And so grandma always jokes, you're my daughter. So I got to see a lot of stuff. I got to spend a lot of time with them growing up. And a few of the things that I've taken away from just the time that I've spent with them, things that my grandfather instilled with like just ownership of like property and stuff like that, things that maybe, my parents, they weren't yet at that stage yet to where they could do some of the things that he was doing. So I got to see my grandparents doing those things. Another thing is wherever we would go, and this happens too with my dad as well, but wherever we would go,
Know what you finna say?
You could not go anywhere without somebody stopping my grandparents. And because they knew them. And they would always say, like with my granddad, they would say, Mr. Varner, you just don't know, you changed my life. I was going down a certain path and you got me on the right path. Or hearing grandma being a retired English teacher, hearing, students come up to her and just, oh, you were my favorite teacher in school. Those type of things have stuck with me, all these years. And it's made me proud. I always joke with my husband and say, which he comes from a great family too, so I can't take anything away from his family. But I always joke with him and say, you made me common with that Williams last name. I was so proud to be a Varner. And I think that part of that is because, of who, my grandparents were and what I saw growing up. And then there was one other thing, but pregnancy brain, I'm sorry, y'all. There was one other thing I wanted to say, but I can't think of it right now, so it must not be that important.
Well, we'll get back to it. Guys, again, I'm a guest tonight, and that's why we're asking Pastor Burrell to be on. I want to bring Joy up. Joy is our second oldest grandchild. Patience is, look at that beautiful face. Joy is, thanks, Kristen. That was a great summary. Patience is in North Carolina. This show is produced out of Virginia, just across the Carolina line. And Patience is having some phone situation. She's actually the oldest. But Joy, I want to ask you this. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Fantastic. That's the young lady that does most of our voiceovers. I want to make this qualifying statement. This show is not about the Varners. We're just a part of it. We're looking at the Black family as a whole. Joy, let me ask you this. You are about to, what are you, a sophomore or a junior in high school now?
Junior.
You're a junior. I thought you were. I didn't want to demote you, so I wanted to clarify that. So you are heading out the door. Let me ask you this question. Let's take some projection, young lady, because you're not there yet. But do you think it's important? Would you, if you had children, and thankfully that's something you'll be looking at way down the line. But if you if you had children, do you think that a college education is as important as getting them trained in a technical skill to enter the job market and start a career? How do you feel about that?
It depends on what they want to do in life. I don't know. It's like up to them, I feel like.
So did you hear? Did you hear Ma? That's what the grandkids call my mother. Did you hear Ma in the beginning when she said she had, first of all, Christian values? Then she had educational values, which I know your mother and your dad transmit through you guys, your mother directly, because she's like the overseer. Um, but do you think there's a need to give some guidance to your children? So let me throw out a scenario to you. Suppose you had a child that didn't have a whole lot of energy and up and go about themselves. Uh, would that lead you in one way or another to kind of help direct them to one way or another, either way?
Can you repeat that last part, please? You're kind of breaking up.
Yeah, I don't know if that's me. Yeah, would you see that if that kid didn't have a whole lot of get up and go about them, would that lead you to kind of maybe push them in one direction or the other?
Yes, I would definitely try and encourage them to do better if I see they're not really doing that well.
Kim, you Pastor Ray, ask the youngest set of Varner, the fourth generation here. Ask her some questions that may have been a bit complex for her. This pertains to her right now.
Well, first of all, how you doing, Joy?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Doing all right? You're looking lovely tonight. I don't have any questions prepared for you. I'm glad to see you on the show. I know you're doing the voiceovers for us, and you do a great job at it. And I'm glad to see you your face instead of being a radio voice tonight, being in video form tonight. So, and I enjoyed when you were here. You and Patience were here not too long ago. I enjoyed that. So. Just glad you're on the show. You have anything you want to add? Anything you want to say as far as the night show being about Black families, and what do you have to say about Black families and the closeness and all that?
I specifically like to talk about older sibling because I feel like me and my sister are on the same level. So like having that character of being the older sibling, like I feel like I have to be one up and be like an example for younger ones.
And you're second oldest, right? So what advice do you have for your younger siblings, your brothers and your sisters? Of course, your sister's a little younger than your brothers, but what advice would you have for them as far as giving them big sister advice?
Maybe messing up doesn't define who you are. It's like they hear they mess up a lot. And I feel like it's hard on them when people say that. So I don't want them to think that's all they are, like a mess. I try and tell them that a lot.
So I'm gonna pass it over to Kristen. Kristen, what do you have any advice for Joy, or a question that you have for Joy?
Hey, Joy. No questions. I think she did a good job when she said, don't get hung up on your mess ups. Just keep putting your best step forward.
I agree with that. I agree.
Pastor Burrell, you have any questions for the younger generation? I don't want to hold her on too long. You have any questions that you'd like to ask her? Pastor Burrell?
I'm experiencing quite a bit of buffering, but listen, I want to grateful to hear the other generations, Kristen and Joy Michelle, just be able to share what it means to be a part of a family like your family. To hear Kristen talk about picking up the value of land ownership you know, by virtue of being around her grandfather and grandmother. That's priceless. You can't teach that in school. You know, that happens as a part of your family experience, and that is certainly commendable. And to know that Joy is doing the voiceovers, that's all right. Amen. Using the skills that.
Okay, we're about a minute away from a break, a heartbreak. Joy, I'm gonna get you one question, and you have and this is a tough question. You have the option of signing out if you like. We don't want to hold you on long. We really appreciate you being here. Joy, you're
Oh no, I'm
blessed.
able to stay. I just
No, I'm
keep
talking
getting
Joy.
the buffering
No, I'm talking to Joy.
for whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm talking Joy. You have the blessing of being the product of a two-parent household. How important is that to have for a child to have both parents in their lives?
I'd say it's super important because I feel like you need to have both perspectives because you don't want to just have like say you're a guy, you don't want to just have one like a mom that's not going to turn out too well, and if you're a girl and you just have a dad, like they don't really understand what to do. I feel like it depends.
Awesome. Anybody want to piggyback before we go to break?
I'll say this: as being a parent, I always tried to be that parent that my kids could always come and talk to me about anything. I don't care what the situation was. With Kristen being female, if she had a question, I hope she always felt like and I hope she still always feels like she can come talk to me about any situation that goes on in her life. I know the boys, Desi used to do it all the time, man. I was kind of slow getting on tonight, man, because I was thinking about my boy. I wish he could have been here tonight. He would have been excellent on this show. But Desi would never hesitate to call and ask me about something. And Keenan's that way now. He's getting more and more out of his shell where he wants to, he'll call me and talk to me about things. But as a parent, I think it's very important that your kids are always able to come talk to you about whatever the situation might be. George just said the same thing as far as, if it's Kristen, if she had a question, and this course growing up, she's married to a great guy, Travis, right now. So my son in love, I call him my son in love. But she ever had a question about a guy, I hope she always felt comfortable coming to me and talking to me. And I remember coming talking to me once about Travis, matter of fact. So and then my boys, I know they always felt comfortable coming talking to me. So as Georgia said, it's good to have parents that you can always go to and talk to and ask questions and seek information. But as a parent, it's just as important to me to know that my kids have enough confidence in me to come to me and talk to me. They don't have to go find advice out in the street somewhere. They can come talk to their dad who's been there, and can help them out with certain situations. So,
Mom, we're gonna come back to you in just a second. Family, we're gonna take a 3-minute break, and then we're coming right back. We want everybody to know that you are enjoying this dynamite, well-produced show tonight because it is produced by moregogiggacreations.com. That's right, moregogiggacreations.com is the source of tonight's dialogue with those. They're the ones that have us in the Brady bunches. Hey, Fern, we love you. We're praying with Bob today. They're the ones that have us in this Brady box tonight. They're Latoya and Makia Johnson and their team just do an outstanding job. There's more GoGigGetCreations.com. We want you to remember them for all of your virtual needs and virtual website, whatever it might be. They got you. All you got to do is contact them. Again, that's more GoGigGetCreations.com. Hit them up. You see their number on their email address on the web page. You see their web address. Hit them up and they'll take care of you. That's more GoGigGetCreations.com. Also, shout outs to Showering Love, Sister Jeannie Albaugh, and the outstanding ministry that she does, ministering to our homeless guests, as she calls them, a population. Sign on their website and be a blessed. They give showers, they give clothes, they give a fresh new beginning. We want you to do that. See them right now. Okay, So you have been, I'm getting the contacts from everybody. Hey, what happened to Dang Dog? Griff gets me in on that one all the time. Or what has happened to what is happening to all of the other, to the shout outs? What has happened to all of these halfway points that we normally do? Are you serious? We're asking those questions. KB does some great Are You Serious? But tonight, and I'm trying to do it on the smallest of platforms, and I'm doing it, it wasn't planned for me to do it, but tonight I want to talk about the Black family. Tonight's dialogue takes a look at the backbone of African American society, the Black family. Historically, and I don't have to be on camera, historically, the Black family American has been its genesis in slavery, who has had its genesis in slavery. It was there that Black families were formed when slave owners breeded Black males and females for specific genetic outcomes as their offsprings. Can you believe that? Rather tailored for a specific skill, a complexion, or strength, or an ability. This is the cruel history of the Black family. The generosity of some slave owners allowed families to remain on their plantation of origin. That, though, was the exception and not the norm. The Black family endured through the years of the Jim Crow South, where many families set their roots. Approximately 1/3 of Black families settled in the Rust Belt, that is the northern cities. Sadly, our family structures has morphed into many one-parent households, which depend on the nuclear family to survive, as oftentimes on a limited existence. Societally, since 1954, the changes of childbearing, role expectations, fertility rates, ever-increasing divorce rates, which plagues our culture, has mirrored, if not multiplied, in the Black family. Despite what many have perceived as gains of the 60s and 70s that have deteriorated through poverty, racial oppression, and our own self-doings. The controversial Moynihan report of 1966 on the Black family cited some trends that are still prevalent today. Did you know that in 1965, 25% of Black children were born out of wedlock? In 1991, that number had escalated to 68%. The latest stat of 2018 says that 69% of Black children are born to unborn mothers. E. Franklin Frazier's research of the Black family cited its existing through two models. One, an ever-present model where the male is the matriarch, being the family's breadwinner and leader, and in the other model, the mother takes on the matriarchal role in the place of a fragmented household. In whichever model, it all takes its toll on the family. Together with extended family supporting a child at a church or a school play, or coming together to surround a son or a daughter signing a college scholarship, or the gathering at a housewarming, or celebrating the launching of a new career. They know the strength of the Black family. Spiritually, in spite of economic shortcomings, structural inconsistencies, educational disparities, or anything else, it's been Daddy's insistence that you had to attend Sunday school, Mama's bedtime Bible stories, or seeing Big Mama on her knees praying to God, to the God of the universe. Spirituality has been the substance that has empowered the Black family to endure every obstacle society has placed in front of it. The Black family has known the church as a safe place to call home. Often, that Black pastor has been the one who represented God and is often a steady role model for our children, male and female. Through it all, whether the unconquerable grief of family separation at a slave master's plantation, pathetic poverty that has crippled any semblance of normality, the tragedy of frequency of murder which has robbed many families and communities, or that single parent who has carried the load of two and tried to wear the role of that absent parent. The enduring resilience of the Black family will endure through generations to come. Tonight, the dialogue honors the Black family. Okay, so we're back. That was to be a voiceover, But that. We just want to talk about the black family and how we have made. Okay, Pastor Burrell is he back with us? Pastor
Yes, I
Burrell?
am.
Okay, let's bring Mama back into it. Let's bring Miss. You call her Miss Hazel. Let's bring Miss Hazel back into the dialogue.
Those, I don't know if you did something to your mic, but your mic is going in and out now. Like you weren't doing it at first. If you change it up,
I'll sign off and come back. Pastor?
Yes, sir. I rebooted my machine, so I think I'm doing a little better also.
Okay. Let's bring Mama into it.
Yeah, she's the only one that I don't see.
Okay, she's signing. Okay, so we have to bring her back out of the dressing room. She's there. Madam Producer, could you bring Mama back up? Okay, Madam Producer, could you bring Mama back up? Well, go ahead and ask Christian and Kim. Pastor Burrell?
Yes, sir.
Bring Christian or Kim.
Oh, just ask them a question?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Kristen, we are happy for you anticipating a new delivery. My daughter blessed our family with a new grandson last Monday, a Valentine's Day baby. So that is very exciting when the family continues to increase. What are some of the things that you are purposely doing, Sister Kristen, to make sure that the family values that were left to you are being continued in the life of your present family?
Well, congratulations on your new grandchild. I think just some of the things that my grandmother said, but just instilling those things in my children as well. So one of the things, and I think I may have mentioned this once before, but or I think I was talking to my dad about it, but on Christmas, every Christmas morning before we could go open gifts, or first of all, our household wasn't the household you wake up first thing in the morning and go wake your parents up and y'all can open gifts. We had to wait till our parents got up. But when they did get up, we all knelt down around their bed and we prayed. So instilling, like my grandmother said, those Christian values in your children. My parents raised us going to church. So doing those same things for my children, and just, teaching them about relationship with God, praying daily. My daughter just turned 3 and she knows the Lord's Prayer. She can say it, but it's because we say it with her, every day. Even just in talking in prayer with God, we pray that way as well with her, and she gets the opportunity, and you'll hear her mumbling after we say amen. She'll start mumbling some stuff because she's still learning language. But that's her trying to offer up her own prayer. So that's one thing. And then education as well. Both sides of my family instilled the importance of education and working hard, taking pride in what you do. So I try to instill those same things in my children. In fact, my brother's son, who's with us quite often, we having a little bit of a struggle right now with him with that, but just taking pride, teaching him, he likes to get through stuff quickly, get through that homework quickly. He might scribble on it, making him redo those type of things, little stuff like that. Not just turning in any old product, but being proud of what you're turning in. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Amen. Amen. Well, that's wonderful that you're in a position to be able to pick up that slack and be there for your nephew. And I was just talking about that. If it wasn't yesterday, it was certainly last Sunday. I was sharing with my church, especially with the young people, that if we did a substandard job, we had to do it again.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had to do it all over again. And boy, you learn. And the
Yeah.
example that I told people about was, I know Brother Kim will remember this, Kristen. We had to go get our own switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I had to get my own switch before my
yeah,
mom's mom.
we had to get our own switch. And you think you being slick. You come back with some little old puny something. Mama said, no, go get another one.
Mhm.
Then you come back with one just a little bit better than that. She said, no. So you figured out that, hey, if I don't go ahead and get this switch that's going to put something on my leg, then, we're going to continue to have to do this. By the time, when I got the third switch, my mama, because I had 3 sisters, my mama plaited those switches like you plait hair.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Ooh-wee. Lord have mercy. Boy, I'm sitting here talking with y'all on this thing, and I'm rubbing my legs even as I talk about it. Remembering some of that. So family is so important. And I hope that we in the African American community can begin to recapture it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Those statistics that Brother Dozell presented, he was a little bit after what I usually do. He mentioned 1966. I mentioned 1959, the year of my birth, and now what we currently deal with now. In my little community in rural Virginia, where I grew up, man, we had our share of winos in the community. But you know what? Every one of them went to work.
Wow.
They went to work. And not only did they go to work, at the end of the week when they got paid, they brought their money home.
Yeah.
Now naturally they saved them a little bit off the side, to get some Ripple and Boone's Farm and Richard Wildlife Rolls, Mad Dog 2020.
What you
Man,
know
that's
about
before
that?
your time, Kristen.
Well, I've heard my bishop talk about Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, the wine of the century. Yes, sir. Over ice, really nice. $50 just a swallow.
Pastor, let me.
People look at us preachers crazy sometimes if we know anything about alcohol or some of the other vices of life. But amen. That's why we're able to reach back and help other people.
Amen.
Go ahead, Brother Ozell.
I want to ask Toya. Toya, would you come on as a voiceover? And I think Mama's she's just sitting down looking at it in front of the TV now. But Toya, if you'll come on, when we moved to Pastor, when we left Daytona, we went to Kentucky, the seminary where we met you. Our 2 girls, that's all we had at the time, were little. I think 4 and 5, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, and of course we started the process with them there. We started out with them as kids, and Kim will tell you, and Christian knows, it was passed down from my dad. And if you wanted your dental work to stay in place, you don't answer an adult, yeah, no. It was yes, sir, very polite and humbly, or no, ma'am, very polite and humbly.
Hi, sir.
Toya.
What's the question, sir? What's the question?
Okay, so now we got Toya on. Right, awesome. She wants to know what the question, sir. Toya.
What's the question, sir?
How many doors? Remember when we went to Sterling? And just so you all know, Sterling, do I see Patience back on? We got to get it in. 1 second, Patience. When we were in Sterling, we were kind of a different Black family that moved into the community. Only 2% Black African American population. Everywhere they went, every school, every community, every church they went, by them simply saying yes sir or no sir, they were looked at kind of as special. It opened doors. Toya, what did it open up for you? Tell you and Christian and Kim, just let everybody know what doors that opened by from what our dad and mom instilled in us, those yes sirs and those no ma'ams. What doors did they open for you all?
I feel like the teachers definitely kind of, put you on the pedestal a little bit. They were more open to listening to you and those type of things because they just felt that you were respectful. Felt that you were being very respectful.
Now you said felt like. Did that mean they felt like, but you weren't really? Just joking.
Well, yes, sir. I was very respectful, sir, because you was my daddy and I didn't want to get beat with 3 sticks like Pastor Burrell, sir.
Yes, sir.
Those in there, you get the funniest little girl in all of the world. Guys, go ahead. Kristen?
I just piggyback off of what Toya said. I feel like, manners can't hurt anything for sure, but people tend to listen to you and they're more willing to help you out when you're polite and you show those manners. One thing we used to always get when we were out and about, they would stop my parents and be like, how do you get your children to be so well behaved? And now when we go out with like my niece and nephew, they're with us and we'll be in like meetings and stuff, and we didn't have any other choice but to take them with us. And they'd be like, man, if those were my kids, there's no way they would have sat there and have been quiet and polite and all of that. So I think, like Toya said, that they're more willing to listen to you, more willing to help you out.
I know she's having phone issues, so while she's here, this is our oldest grandchild. She is my mother's oldest great grandchild. That's Patience Glenn. You can barely see her. That's the darling of the family. The gem of the family was on this.
That's actually Ma. She's the darling of the family. Ma is her grandmother.
Huh?
That's your mother. That's your mother, sir. That's your mother.
That's my mom. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's so dark I could see. Okay, so I had a question for you, Mama. I had this question for you. Mama, what do you look for generations down? What do you look for after the leadership that you and Daddy has given? And you need to turn the TV off, Mama. Turn the TV down. Turn the voice on the TV off. Mama, turn off the TV. Turn the TV down. Okay. All right. Mama, now, my question is, you being the first generation, we're 4 generations down. What are you looking for out of this 4th generation, and are you seeing it? The values that you and Daddy instill, are you still seeing those?
I don't think she's tuned in. Those her mic is muted for one thing. She can't speak because her mic is muted. But look like she's looking somewhere else. I'm not sure.
Something's wrong. I see you, and
okay.
I think you're talking to me, but I cannot hear you. Do you hear me?
We hear you well.
Yes, we do.
We can't hear one another.
Can you hear Kim?
Your mic is going in and out for some reason. Those it's like an echo or something.
Yeah. So I'll go and come back out. Can you hear
Brother
Kim?
I'm hearing Dozell fine.
Yeah.
I can hear him, but it's going in and out for some reason. Maybe it's my
I'm hearing Dozell fine.
Well, I hear Dozell now.
Your mama, please turn the TV down. Mama.
Well, I hear Dozell.
Can you turn the TV down? Mama?
She's muted. She muted again. I don't know if she did it.
All right. Okay. So, okay, go ahead, Kim. I know you have a question. Go ahead.
What was the question?
No, I'm saying I know you have one for somebody here. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, only thing I'll say is, I want to give Kristen a shout out because I mean, all my kids were good kids, but Kristen's just always been that mature individual. We talk about it a lot. I have a good friend, Eric Green, who used to tell me, man, if you and Joy could have bought what y'all raised Kristen on, we could sell it and become millionaires. But she just always been that very mature and responsible child growing up. And as she got older and became an adult, she's still doing it. So I just want to, give her shout out, man. I talk about her all the time about that. And, I think she's heard me say it, but if she hasn't, I want you to hear me say it now. But, and also I want to give Pastor Burrell a shout out and congratulations for you on that February 14th gift you received, that grandchild. So congratulations on that, you and your family, man. That's good stuff.
Amen. Thank you so very much.
Hey, Kristen, let me comment to you.
There he is.
He looks just like his mother. I know his mother looks just like her.
10 pounds, 7 ounces. I don't know if it was you, Dozell, or my other friend Dana. One of y'all said 10 pounds, 7 ounces. Said that joker walked out.
I know, Christian. I try to see it. Christian, let me say this. You have. I will always remember going to your graduation and seeing my brother. And one of the most serious of times I'd ever seen him, he was just staring, and he just kind of muttered. He says, "The sky is the limit for this kid if she wants it." And he said that, and that has always stuck out in my mind. And I just sensed that, and I've seen that too. You prepared well. Of course, you're a University of Central Florida Knight, so we that's our alma mater. So you had to be prepared well. You married well. Travis is a fantastic young brother, fantastic. But what I wanted to ask you, when I was working on that doctoral program, one of the things that we studied, and Toya, you're familiar with this because there was somebody that we kind of brought in under this. There was a phenomenon called fictive kinship relationship, where you actually bring in someone and raise them, or they spend time under your roof, so to speak. What is it like you and Travis passing down these values? In Desi's place, you're there having an important role in Chloe and Kamari's life. What is that like? And I didn't mean to call her names, but what is that? What does that do for you, for Travis and you, and for those two children and their siblings?
Well, I first think that I always say that I think God, for all three of Desi's children, God blessed them with father figures, even though their, natural father isn't here. And I think that's because he was such a blessing to his children's older siblings who were not his natural children, but he cared for them like he was. And so in his absence, God has blessed his children to have those father figures in their lives as well. It can be a struggle sometimes. It's an adjustment with them coming in and, working. It's just like with a marriage. When you bring two people together that were raised in different households, maybe you have, a little bit different values or just different ways of how things were done in your household. And then you come and you want to put your, values onto the children, but the other person might have a different mindset or whatever. And so we've had to adjust and learn, in dealing with their mother. And I think, we have a decent relationship now, but it took some bumps, and, it was rough at times doing that. And then just with where the kids are now, they're getting older and they have their own opinions about things and stuff. And so I want to give them the freedom to express themselves, but at the same time, let them know, like, okay, this is how it needs to go. For example, Kamari is a know-it-all. I always tell him he's like his Uncle Keenan. He thinks he knows everything. In fact, the other day, I told him that. He said, I do. He didn't even realize he had said it. He was like, I do know everything. I said, well, if you know everything, then I'm going to let you go ahead and learn this hard lesson on your own. But they are a blessing to us. My daughter, absolutely. Well, I feel like all the grandkids just love Kamar. He's the oldest. Kamar is the oldest, and he's got all these girls behind him.
And they love him to death.
And they love him to death. Khalees and Jalea were over here last night, and Khalees was upset because her mom came and picked her up. She called this morning wanting to talk to Kamari. And he is so he's very sweet, and he's so like, you would think that at his age he would be like, nah, y'all need to leave me alone. But he's always real kind to them, and he lets them go in his room and he plays with them and stuff. But he's happy to be getting a boy cousin finally. But they have been a huge blessing to my family, even though it has been an adjustment. So my daughter Savannah loves Kamari and Chloe. When they're not here, she's looking for them. She'll get when I pick her up after work, she'll be like, where's Kamari? And if it's a day where they stay home at their mom's house, I'm like, oh, they're at their mom's house. And you can just tell, like, when they do come back, her face lights up. So I call them brother cousin and sister cousin for her. But I think to answer your question, I think to see the real, I guess, benefit will be down the line. You know, we'll get a chance to see the things that I know that Desi would have instilled in them, because they're things that were instilled in me because we grew up in the same household. We'll get to see that come to fruition in his children as a result of spending that time with us.
Amen.
Kristen, is Travis nearby?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, we gotta get Travis in here, man.
He actually went to go pick up Savannah. She was at his mom's house.
Oh,
She like how I was with grandma and granddaddy. That's how she is with his parents. They had all boys too, and they always wanted a girl, and so they, whatever time they can get with her, they take. So he actually left to go pick her up.
I understand. Mama, I'm gonna ask you a question. Can you hear us? Thanks, Chris. Mama, can you hear us? Mama, are you able to hear us? Mama, can you hear us?
Mom, can you hear those that are talking to you, Mama?
Mama, can you hear us? Okay. So, Kim, Pastor Burrell, Chris, anything, we getting ready to wrap it up. This has been an enlightening hour. Hey, we looked at the Black family, and I think we looked at 4 generations of our family, which has been good because it's been an opportunity for everybody just to see. Who is that, Kim? Oh yeah, that's
trying to get a good picture of TJ, man.
TJ.
That's the little one that's on the way.
To you all in Dozy Land, can you believe the impression of his face? That's the sonogram. Is that what that's called? Sonogram.
That's the sonogram, man.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can see that. That's clear. I'm sorry that Mama can't hear us or respond, but so glad that she's still here with us. Pastor, you and Kim, anything before we get ready to close out here? The Black family on African American history, we celebrate, man. We're so glad to have 4 generations.
Well, thank you for making me an honorary part of your family. I never forget you asked me to sub one night for your Bible study. And the people began to log on, and your mom was one of the first people on. And I didn't know her at that time. I said, well, I asked her who she was, and when she did, I was like, oh my goodness, royalty is in the house. And I know as much as you talk with your mom and things y'all have to do, she asked about me, and I want her to know that I appreciate that, you know. Just being able don't get an opportunity to talk with her much, but even when we're together in each other's presence and you talk to your mom on that phone and if she knows I'm around, she's going to say, tell Pastor Burrell I said hello, So listen, man, it is so much of a blessing. Let me share this with your family. You know the story, but while we were in seminary, Dozel's lovely wife, Wendy, took the first pint of blood that I ever gave. And I am making my way toward, well, first of all, 96 pints, which is 12 gallons, and 4 more pints past that will be 100 pints. Amen. 100 pints of whole blood.
Wow.
And it's not easy getting African Americans to give blood.
Yeah.
And if we can't get them to give blood, we can.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we lost him at something good he was saying too.
Yeah. Take KB. Chris, do you have any summarizing statements you want to make? We're so glad that you were with us.
Pastor's back now. Let him finish that statement, Dozel.
Okay.
Yeah, we buffered just a little bit. Now I was just saying, giving blood is important because there's such a need in our community. I know 3 people, a niece, my wife's brother-in-law, and a common friend we have, Dozel, whose wife, as a result of COVID, all 3 of these people have lost their kidney function. So it's going to be next to impossible to get somebody to donate an organ if we can't even get them to give 1 pint of blood. So that's also a connection with me and your family in the fact that I don't guess Sister Wendy knew what she was starting when she got that first pint of blood from me.
Right. Kim, you and Kristen, I know you got something to say. Kristen, summarizing statement. Thank you so much for being here, sis.
I'm just grateful to be able to be on here with my little cousins and my dad and uncle and my big cousin Toya as well, and grandma. So thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for the young lady that you are, and we give God glory for you and Travis. We just love you all immensely, and the great ministry that you're doing at large, and particularly with your the 3 children, and now soon to be the 4 children that you're giving nurturing and leadership to. God bless you, and that fine young man you're married to, and give him a hug for us, and thank you for being on the dialogue tonight.
Yes, sir. Love you all.
Pastor Burrell, you're my friend. You're probably going to try to take advantage of your wins on the golf course. Thank you, sir, for being here with us tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Dozel. When Brother Kim, you come back down to Miami to one of them seminars or whatever, we need to get together and break bread together.
You're in Miami?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Man, I didn't realize that. I thought you was up there where Dozel was in Chicago. I didn't know he was downstate.
Oh, no, man. Sunny,
we
South
definitely
Florida.
Gotta break bread, bro. We definitely got to break bread.
And I'm working with your brother. I try to eat halfway healthy, but the other day we ate together. Boy, he had that meatloaf, boy. Lord, it didn't stand a chance.
we got to get you to one of our sessions too, Pastor.
All right.
We
really
definitely
glad
got
to do that.
Input at one of our sessions, man. We got to get you. I didn't realize that. Yeah, we definitely got to get you to break bread in to get you one of these sessions, bro. Get your input.
You know I'm close because your brother and I playing golf together all the time.
It just dawned on me that's you the one he play golf with. He talk about it all the time, man. So when I'm down there, he talk about it all the time because he got me into playing golf, and I can't play right now because I'm still nursing this injury to my wrist. But I want to bring my clubs. We coming down this weekend for my wife's birthday, so maybe we can all get together then as well. So
awesome.
Look forward to that. I didn't realize that. I definitely look forward to that.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to show this before Kristen get off. I don't know when she's getting ready to get off, but those are, the importance of this picture here. This is I don't know if y'all can really see it. This is me going to the ring with Daddy leading me in the ring and Desi behind me when I was fighting in Guns N' Hoses. I don't know if you can see Desi behind me right here, but trying to get that glare off. I don't know how to adjust that. but hopefully you can see it. But it's an honor tonight just to have Mama and Kristen on the show together tonight. I don't have a picture like that to show of them, but it's an honor to be on the show with my female versions of my heroines, I guess I would say it. So it's, you know, I got to get I got pictures of me with the two of them though, but I just, matter of fact, I just took one the other day, a nice picture the other day at Kristen's baby shower, matter of fact. But yeah, it's just good to have them on here together tonight. Y'all don't know, Kristen, you don't know how proud your dad is, or maybe you do know, but I'm telling you, Dad is very proud of you. Uncle Anthony sent me a text that said, "So you look like you're real proud while your daughter's speaking." I said, "Yeah, I is." So you know, I'm very proud of my daughter, man. Very, very, very proud of her. And of course, everybody knows how I feel about my mama. So you know, it's just good stuff. So I'm trying to find that picture of at the shower.
We on this heartbreak. How do you see it, Kim?
Say it again.
We're on this heartbreak to get out of here. How do you see it?
I see it as that's me, Mama, and Kristen from the baby shower the other day.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice.
So that picture there is valuable to me as well.
Nice picture.
Well, I see it, man. As far as you know, I've seen the breakdown of the black family over the years. I know where I came from. We came from one of the worst neighborhoods in Jacksonville, out east on Jesse Street, right down Florida Avenue. But having solid parents in your household makes all the difference in the world. I know a lot of guys that I grew up with, that I went to school with or whatever, just had a mother in their household, but their mother was a mother and a father. And they grew up to be good, productive citizens. So having a solid background, especially your parents, or just have a strong structure to support you, to get you through things, is very important. And I've seen the black family break down over the years, and I won't get into it because I know we're closing out, but I would love to see that village theory come back into place, where the whole neighborhood, if you're down the street cursing and that neighbor came out there and got on your behind, and then they called your parents and say, "Hey, I just got through spanking your son because he was down there cursing," and the mother supports that and say, "Okay, well, good, you know, send him on down here," and you get it 2 or 3 times, you know. But I just believe in the village theory. And if we got back to that, I think we'll see our black family structure come back to what it used to be. And that's just structure, period, not just black families, but all families. We get back to that village theory, man, where we looked out for each other's kids. I am my brother's keeper. We get back to that, and of course, we got to throw some prayer in there with it. So I think this would be a better place to live. That's how I see it.
Amen. Hey, I didn't send this picture to the producer, but this gentleman is Mr. Charles Sutton. Kim talked about us being raised up on Jesse Street at the boys' home. Mr. Sutton was, and here's a picture of 3 Jacksonville legends. That's Coach Kitchen, who later on I went to him as a little kid and asked him, could I be one of those little boys that led the Gilbert High School team out on the field? And I became a mascot as a result of that. Mr. Sutton is to the right of your screen, and to the left is some guy named Bob Hazel or something. I think they call him Crow. We dedicate the night, and since producer, my apologies for not getting that to you. We dedicate tonight's dialogue to Mr. Sutton, who was buried on last week. Mr. Sutton worked at the boys' home for our dad, and it was just so important. My dad knew that he was bringing in a young man who had his back. Mr. Sutton he was a monster of a football player. He went out to the Dallas Cowboys with Bob Hayes. They discovered on the table that he had an outstanding career at FAMU, but they discovered that he had a heart murmur, and they sent him back, and he was really dejected. My daddy hired him at the boys' home, and he ended up retiring, I think, from the city of Jacksonville. And Kim would see him under the tree, as they call it, up until recently. And he would always tell me, and I would almost like be somewhat envious that he get to see Mr. Sutton, and I hadn't seen him for so long. Got to see him about 10 years ago. Charles Sutton, a molder of young minds and young men who went to be with the Lord a few weeks ago. We give God honor and praise for him and what he meant to so many of us. As I see it, tonight you saw 4 generations of a black family. You saw our loving mother, who we refer to as a gem. You saw Kim and I. Kim talk about heroes. Hey man, he's my hero. He lives with unbelievable grief, and he holds his head up and he turns it into being a blessing to others. And he has done an outstanding job.
Yeah, I can
You saw
see it
Kristen on
on
here
you
tonight.
when I turn it up and
And he has,
turn it.
you have to mute her. And he has another a son, and he has another son, Keenan. My mind's just going. So he's a family man, and his children are respectable, honorable citizens, and we just give God praise for him. He's a grandfather. He's a hero of mine. My other brother's a hero of mine, and of course our children, Kristen and Toya, who produces this show. We have two other children, Dozell III and Kimberly, who's a psychologist. We have so much to be grateful for. So you've seen our families, and you saw all the way down to the fourth generation. You saw our two older grandchildren. We'll get Patience on at another time. She was having difficulties with her device. But you saw 4 generations, a gem all the way down to a precious stone. And as Kim just said, in spite of all of the challenges, in spite of all of the hits, in spite of everything that has attacked the family structure as a whole, and you know what they say, when white America catches a cold, we get pneumonia. So as the family structure as a whole is falling apart, you know the Black family would have to be resilient to not completely crumble and fall apart. But because we are resilient, we celebrate. We have come through all of the atrocities, all of the shortcomings, all of the economic shortcomings, poverty, everything, to be resilient in the spiritual realm. We've made it societally. We are making it educationally. We dominate athletics, the Black family, education. We're doing well economically, more entrepreneurs than ever. The Black family, the backbone of the Black community. I'm glad to be a product of a strong Black family. And it is my prayer that Kim, Pastor Burrell, and I and others are helping to make other families stronger because of our tenure here on this planet. That's how I see it. Listen, I know that little girl right there. I know that little girl.
It's muted. Say hey.
Hey, pretty girl. Hey, Papa. Hey, pretty girl. Hey.
It's Uncle Dozell.
Hey, Auntie Jessel.
Hey, pretty. How you, Varner?
Gigi Varner.
Hey, Gigi Varner.
Wow.
Oh, little girl, boy.
What an absolute joy we get tonight to sign off with her. What a blessing.
Where's Travis, Kristen? Bring Travis in
They
real
want
quick.
to say hey to you.
Stick his head in there real quick.
Hey, y'all see me?
Come on in the
Hey,
picture.
Trav. Hey, bro.
Yeah,
How you doing?
Yeah.
Man?
How y'all doing?
Savannah,
What's
you
going
mean?
on, T?
Yeah, we just got back to the house.
Travis, bless you, man. Keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You know,
She won't
Travis,
say
I'm
anything.
finished real quick. You know, I got a lot of friends
I wish I could hear on that.
have daughters,
Papa.
married guys and whatever, man, and they always their son-in-law ain't the best son-in-law. But I'm thankful for you, bro. Appreciate you being the man that you are, and you know, I'm thankful for you, man. I don't know if I ever told you that, but I want you to know that. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Love you, man. You're a great brother in the Lord. Listen,
Yeah.
we're gonna
She
dialogue
will
with those
talk
right
while
here at 8
you
o'clock.
think people
We
listen.
culminate Black History celebration, but we're gonna do something over into the 4th month, over into March on the Black church.
She must
But
have been
next
down
week
on
we're
the
gonna
floor
talk
behind.
about
Well, Aunt Varner.
reparations. We're going to talk
What
about
happened to that son?
blacks in the criminal justice system. A favorite of the show, Dr. Rick Holton. That was my phone. He's in California. That call that kept coming through. Dr. Holton calls. You got to listen. And also, we're going to talk about Black advocacy. You don't want to miss next week. Dialogue with Dozy.
Those are you see the picture, don't you? You saw Anthony, those are.
Can you turn it up in there? Those up there, you turn it down.
You heard Toya talking. I'm trying to talk over Mama. She's live. Listen, join us next week. Thank you, Pastor Burrell. Thank you, Kristen. Bruh, love you, man. Man, love. Dialogue with Dozy. We're done.